When you think of a genre-defining video game, what games will pop into your head? For sandbox games, you could think of Minecraft or Grand Theft Auto 5. For first-person shooters, you'll probably think of Half-Life. And for indie games, you might think of Undertale or FNAF. But what makes these games genre-defining? What causes them to attract millions of players, shoot far beyond everyone's expectations, and rake in heaps of cash for the devs that made them? Today, I'm going to try to find that out. Obviously, your game needs to stand out. However, most genres are so oversaturated with either amazing series or straight up shovelware, it's a lot more difficult to become critically acclaimed than before. A game needs to be nothing short of revolutionary to be considered a genre-defining title. Games like Half-Life and Minecraft started out with small teams and quickly rose to global fame and recognition. You don't need a multi-million-dollar company or a massive team to make a game that redefines its category, you just need talent and creativity. When Notch created Minecraft, for example, he thought it would only make enough money to let him make another game, and that game would make enough money for the next, and so on and so forth. He, as well as many other developers of similar games, didn't expect his game to achieve the fame it did. But now that Minecraft is out there and played by hundreds of millions of people, how can another sandbox game beat it out? Simply put, it can't. Any and all other games in its genre will be overshadowed by it. Obviously, gameplay isn't everything. Marketing, whether unintentional or intentional, plays a big role in how many people play your game. Take GTA for example, specifically GTA 3 through San Andreas. These three games were all shrouded in controversy, but for different reasons. Whether it was GTA 3's blood and violence, Vice City's alleged racism, or San Andreas' hot coffee mod, controversies such as these did nothing but increase the demand for these games. GTA 4 didn't have as much controversy surrounding it, but it was still immensely popular. GTA 5 was well received and sold millions of copies, but many consider 4 to be the best of the series. It seems new stuff still can't beat the old. Adding on to this seemingly unsolvable problem of games never being able to top the best is the multiplayer resurgence. Games like Fortnite and COD dominate sales charts month and month again, despite being simple, carbon copy versions of other games in Fortnite's case, or the same game once again every year, waiting to be eaten up by desperate fans in Call of Duty's case. It seems like every month a new flavor of the month game is coming out, only to be played for a couple of hours and then forgotten forever. Do any games like that come to mind? They probably do, unless you've been living under a rock the past few months. These games are just shovelware that are interesting for a couple minutes and then shelved forever. Whenever I play a game like this, I feel like I've been cheated out of my money by the repetitiveness and simplicity of these games. Simplicity is usually a good thing, but in the case of these types of games, the lack of interesting or in-depth content makes them a bore. So this is the part of the video where I give my opinion, I definitely wasn't doing that throughout this entire video, about games that are considered genre-defining by many, but not by me. For example, Half-Life. This may be a controversial statement, and you can feel free to call me a zoomer in the comments all you want, but this is my opinion. I think that people who call Half-Life 1 the greatest shooter of all time, or anything along those lines, is sadly mistaken. I would definitely understand them if they said that about Half-Life 2, but definitely not Half-Life 1. The gameplay is just a bit too slow for me, and, while this might just me being stupid, a lot of the levels felt like mazes that I had to aimlessly wander until I found the right path. It's incredibly linear, and while it may have been great for its time, it definitely does not hold up today. If you want to experience the lore and story aspects of the first Half-Life, just play back Mesa. But please, from the bottom of my heart, I ask you, do not touch Half-Life Source. I want to leave this video on an optimistic note. With games like Halo Infinite and Cyberpunk 2077 coming out, there's still hope for single-player and local multiplayer experiences. And with Left 4 Dead 2, one of the best single-player/co-op games of all time, recently receiving a massive update, I'm becoming more and more hopeful about the return of single-player popularity, and maybe, along with it, more games we can call genre-defining.